welcome to the I Went Outside Today podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chris.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Sydney. I do them things.
This is episode 5 of our podcast. Well, as the pandemic rolls on, so as the problem with getting things done with our podcast. We've had a few failures since last episode on getting things started. Just a couple weeks ago, we tried to head out to the Creationist Museum. We were not able to get in.
Mm-hmm.
We got stood up and judged.
Chris and I encountered the same thing when we went on a trip at one point and visited the Creationist Museum several years ago, or 2 years ago, however many years ago, long times ago. He seems to have communication issues where he doesn't really understand what's going on. So we showed up for our tour and he was like, "Oh, I thought it was supposed to be a different day." So as much as it was frustrating, I kind of wasn't surprised.
Yeah, we had messaged him from your fake alias's account, Lindsay Grube, so he's expecting Lindsay Grube. And so I'm like, "Saturday good?" He's like, "Yes." And he's like, "What time?" And I'm like, "About 1 or 2 o'clock." And he's like, "Okay, that's fine." And then Friday night or Saturday morning, he messaged back, "Sorry, I missed you." We were getting in the car, getting ready to go on our 2-hour drive. So I'm messaged back right away, and I'm like, "Oh no, I meant today when I said Saturday."
Yep, and then he wasn't there, and we didn't get to do the tour.
Yep.
And
he
then
replied an hour later after we had hung around there for an hour and left. He was like, "Are you still there?"
Yeah.
So then we were like, well, there's got to be something close by we can do. We should just go find something else to do. So Chris had found a ghost town to go visit. But the funny thing about ghost towns in Alberta is that apparently they've all turned into tourist traps.
Yep. So they're owned buildings that people just sort of upkeep, so they're there. And so we saw one entrance was blocked off, but we thought maybe it's road work or something. So we went to the other entrance of this ghost town. There was a sign lying down in a ditch, which was, I guess, supposed to tell us not to come in. But we had gotten there as soon as we had found a parking spot on Main Street. There was this lady herding 6 or 7 cats.
There was so many cats. It was so majestical. I was so excited to see them cats.
And what did she scream at us?
She's
get the fuck out.
Yeah, she's read the signs. This place is closed, or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
There were no signs.
Yeah, the sign had been knocked over, so hopefully she went back. She seemed very irate.
And you guys checked Insta and said that other people were there and they got to see the cats.
Yeah, there was geotagged Instagram posts of people who've been there 2 days prior, so we thought, it's fine.
And also, to be fair, the first sign, we were on a shitty gravel road, so we just thought maybe the road was shitty or something. It wasn't it didn't say closed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say go away.
No. Well, and they have this huge sign next to the highway that says Crowleywood. You would think that if they were closed, they would have tacked a sign in front of that being closed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To prevent people from coming off the highway and onto the terrible dirt road.
Yep. To be fair, though, it wasn't even a real ghost town. There were no ghosts. There was just 15 cats, and I was going to steal them all.
Mm-hmm.
So she should have yelled at us, because those cats were coming home with us if I got close.
Yeah, small town fun. So, the town the Creationist Museum was in, they were getting kind of sour at us when we were eating our lunch, saying that big city folk coming into the small towns.
We also did not even attempt to blend. So
No, I think I was the closest one dressed to what a small town person would potentially be wearing.
yeah, I blame Chris's jacket. That was a city jacket.
It's a very nice jacket.
I'm not saying it wasn't nice. I'm saying you blew our cover.
I think the all black. I don't think there are very many people in a small town that wear all black. I think most people in small town Alberta wear blue jeans.
Well, those people are dumb.
So yeah, kind of a rude reception in the first town, rude reception in the ghost town. Of the one resident of the ghost town, I guess.
Yeah.
Minus the cats, who I don't think really cared.
Yeah. So then I pulled up Google Maps because Sydney had mentioned Drumheller, and I was like, I mean, we are pretty close to Drumheller. Do you guys just want to go to Drumheller and go for a walk so that the day isn't a complete write-off? So we drove the rest of the way to Drumheller to check out some hoodoos.
We saw them hoodoos. And we almost slipped and died 1,000 times. So slippery.
So there's bentonite clay in like the soil, and when it gets wet, it makes it very slippery. So it's very hard to walk on the hoodoos with the clay there.
Yep. And it looks super dry on top. And so it's just like slightly wet under the bottom. It's like a greased up hill that you're just sliding down all of a sudden. Luckily, none of us got too muddy or dirty.
And then, after our walk at the hoodoos, we went to Walmart. Whee!
What did we need from Walmart again?
I was looking for weights.
I needed linen bags.
There were no weights, because there are no weights anywhere in our province right now. And then
all the home gym equipment got bought up and started getting resold on Amazon and Craigslist and Kijiji.
And then I have an addiction to yarn, so I had to go check out the yarn section of Walmart, which was also disappointing. But I did find some strap-on ankle weights that I could potentially strap on when I go for walks in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, did you find anything at the Wally World?
At Wally Walmart? What did I get? I needed a linen bag because I get really obsessed with things, and I just thought if I had linen bags, like cube-shaped ones, I could stack all of the linens. And I got a tiny spatula for my tiny frying pan. And I almost bought a mug that looked like a smiling avocado, but it was $6 and I didn't know if it was microwave safe.
You got a rolling pin.
Oh, I got a rolling pin. All the baking stuff is like sold out in Edmonton.
Yeah. So I have since contacted the guy because we're trying to plan another day to go out to the Creationist Museum. I have not heard anything back.
Amazing.
So I'm wondering if he's now just ignoring the email address and if one of us is going to have to contact him either via phone or via another email address.
I think I may have clicked on the message and then not told anyone about it because I was drunk and trying to get into a different event. I think it said like, "Hi Lindsay, that sounds good." Maybe.
Okay. I'm going to go check.
I might be
hallucinating. Check the email.
Oh yeah, it says yes, that will work. Thanks.
Did I mark it back as unread?
No, you did not. Okay,
Sorry.
so we will be able to go to the Creationist Museum on our next time allotted.
Nice.
I don't know yet if I'll be joining you, but I hope to.
Cheryl gets to travel far and wide for field work with her regular old day job. And so she might not be able to come, but we'll still make sure you record with us.
Sounds good. I'll bring a microphone with me on my excursions to the wilds of Canada.
Yeah, had a much better reception in Drumheller than the first two towns we went to. And, I mean, they're a tourist town. The second one was a tourist town, too, so they should have been nice, too.
Yeah.
But Drumheller is, like, one of the areas where they find the most dinosaur bones and fossils, so a lot of dinosaur tourism.
It is considered the dinosaur capital of Canada.
And they got them hoodoos.
They do.
There's also a Pokestop at the Drumheller Museum entrance Pokemon Gym, and I dropped off my, like, Bulbasaur, I think, in the gym.
You put a Bulbasaur in a gym?
I sure did. And it was there for over a week. Nobody else was going there. It's fun times.
He's
Not
champ.
even a Venusaur? Like it was a Bulbasaur?
It was a Bulbasaur.
Okay. We're going to have a chat later.
Okay.
And so, one of the new exciting updates is that Cheryl and I have already done our money spells, and I will insert the recording of us doing them after right now.
Boop. So right now I'm just finishing up my last bit of herbs for the mojo bag. As I said before, the recipes that I found, there are so many different things that you can put in it that I kind of had to pick and choose what things go in it. So I have cumin, cinnamon, ginger, basil, sage. I also have a silver dollar. I have an amber necklace pendant. And now I have my note saying what my intentions are for this Wealth Mojo bag. So, the spell that I have that I found that goes with this mojo bag. So I've put my contents in. I need a green candle and a piece of cord. Ooh, I also have prosperity oil. It's quite strong for my bag. So, bag is closed. If I can light the candle, I take the piece of green cord and I put it around the top of my bag. Not 1, the spell has begun. Not 2, plenty of things to do. Not 3, money will come to me. Not 4, opportunity will come knocking on my door. Not 5, I will thrive. Not 6, my money problems will be fixed. Not 7, success will happen. Not 8, increase will be great. Not 9, all of this will be mine. So, now that I have tied all the knots, I need to drip some green wax to seal my bag. Now it says ideally it should be done under a full moon or a waxing moon, but because I'm about to go out of town, I don't know if I can wait for that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to move my cord strings out to the side and let's see if I can drip some green wax onto the knot of my mojo bag. It's also getting on the table, but you know. So the bag has been sealed with green wax. And I'm going to put on a little bit of prosperity oil. And that's it. My spell is done. So we'll see if this helps or not. For the rest of the ritual, it says I need to keep it with me at all times. So I figured I would put it in my purse. And the other thing it says is that I'm not allowed to let anyone else touch it. So I need to make sure that if I put it in my purse, I put it somewhere that people aren't going to find it and touch it. And yeah, that's the ritual. Wish me luck, guys.
Alright, so now I'm about to do the money spell. I have already completed step 1, anoint the candles with an oil of your choice. And I decided to go with Cheryl's prosperity oil that she just used on her voodoo satchel. I'm also supposed to visualize the wealth I am to receive. So I'm imagining lottery winnings, dollar bills flying up to me on windy days off the street. And yeah, basically just money that doesn't come from, inheritance. So no one's got to die for this. It's all got to be good. I have the candles placed on an altar, which is a little tabletop shelf I have on my desk. I have them 9 inches apart, so I also have a ruler here because you never leave it up to the judges. So step 3 here, I light the candles and I need to chant these words. I'm just going to light them right now. They're lit. Money, money, come to me in abundance 3 times 3. May I be enriched in the best of ways, harming none on its way. This I accept, so mote it be. Bring me money 3 times 3. And I've moved the white candle an inch towards the green. And now I just need to extinguish the flames. And that's step 1 of the spell. I need to repeat this 9 times, and then I assume the deal is sealed. And that's it for my portion. I hope this one is the one that gets us all the riches. Boop. Imagine you listened to them and how amazing that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we've started ours. I know I've had some luck. I've found 35 cents and change so far on the ground since I started the witchcraft spell. And I got a new job.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
You did the spell and then you got the job?
Sure did.
So I'm off of the COVID EI, and my new job, I make more money than I did with my old job.
And for me, my success so far has been that although my company decided to give us a pay decrease for the non-billable hours, the billable hours have now been increased to like $5 more an hour than I was making before. And summer is busy time for me, so I'm making more money per hour, and I think my last paycheck was like $300 more than it has been over space of time. And I also found a dime. That's pretty good.
Moving on up in the world.
So exciting update is post office has finally brought the demon pendant.
And
We
I
had
just wear
actually
it.
just got it this morning, and all you got to do is wear it and just let that demon work its magic for you.
So we know you wanted a gemstone. So I found a cursed pair of earrings, and I took the gemstone out of it and I put it in there for you.
Did it have to be a cursed pair of earrings?
I mean, so here's the funny thing.
Cursed in what way?
So cursed in the fact that that pair of earrings has not been a pair of earrings for several years. Because I lost the one of the two, like, forever ago. And then it was just sitting in my jewelry box this whole time, and I was like, you know what? She had wanted a stone. We'll just pry the stone out of the single earring and glue it.
I'm nervous to put it on. I'm holding it now, so it's a little thing. It's kind of cute.
Isn't it pretty?
It is pretty. Like, if I didn't know what this was, I would wear it, but now I'm, like, a little bit nervous. But the things I do for our podcast that is not even on the air yet. Good
It'll
Lord.
be on soon. I think we talked about after 5 episodes.
After
and this
5
is
episodes.
number 5.
Jesus, take the wheel.
So they also...
I'm wearing it now. The pendant.
So the woman who made us the pendant, she also sent us a freebie, and it looks like a ruin symbol on it. And I haven't looked up what the ruin symbol is, so while we continue to discuss things, I'm going to look up what the ruin symbol is.
I want that one too.
You want that one too? Okay, I will pass that one to you right now. There you go.
Amazing. Guys, it looks like a rune. Should I put it on the demon pendant, or is that gonna...
I don't know, it's up
It
to you.
wasn't like pictured in the original purchase. I wonder if it's just like the artist logo or a little extra she adds on. It wasn't like detailed in it.
How funny would it be if it's like a rune that makes you poor, so I just like get canceled out?
You're gonna have to put it on someone and then see how much money they lose, just to be sure.
Trying to think of who I would put it on. So
Who's
many
the richest
options.
person you know?
I don't know anyone that rich. The richest person that I know.
It might be him.
Don't give it to me. I already know what's up.
You already know what's up.
You know what you do? So our sister works at Safeway and hands out people change. She could just slip that in because she sees like the hockey players all the time.
She could slip the runes in to the change?
She can, if that is like a poor person rune,
She sees the hockey players?
a poverty rune. She
How do you know
sees
this?
like some of the. She's told me she sees like some of the Oilers shopping for their groceries from time to time. I think the old mayor as well.
Weird. I don't want to say my old neighborhood, my old stomping grounds on the podcast, but that's interesting. What does the runes mean?
So the ruin means year. Harvest, patience, cycles, time, orbits, right effort. It's Jira. It literally means year or harvest.
Jirai.
Jira.
Jera
Oh, okay.
is a rune of peace on the land and in the heart. I don't know enough about runes to like read through the rest of the sort of stuff, but the psi powers mean psychological time, patience, the measurement of time.
I have none of those things.
Whoa, now you do.
Well, now I do.
The energy says good harvest, orbits, cycles, progress, biorhythms, right effort. Mundane is waiting, gardening, farming, the season and harvest. And divinations, reward for positive action, plenty, peace. proper timing or repetition, bad timing, poverty, conflict, regression. I have no clue. I don't know enough about runes to be able to, like...
That was so many things. I don't really know how runes work either.
It also governs fertility, creativity, and harmony with the land.
You're going to be so creatively fertile.
I'm not a fan of that. I won't even have a baby in The Sims.
Maybe she's just trying to be, like, passive-aggressive. She's like, you want riches? It's like, you need to be patient. Here's this rune to tell you how much I disapprove of your current practices.
Ooh, shade. Well, maybe I'll just stick with the demon one in the name of science for now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to jinx it. I want to get rich.
Oh, yeah. One other setback I should mention that we had was, so the witchcraft spell had to be done 9 nights in a row. And on the 9th night, you're supposed to let the candles burn down together to nothing. And so it's the 9th night. Cheryl and I are just sitting back, enjoying watching some TV. And the candles are about halfway burned down. And then the building's fire alarm goes off.
Oh!
And so I'm staring at these candles and I'm like, oh, I can't just leave them. So I had to blow them out and then start all over again for another 9 days. So I was casting the spell for like 18 days.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll get double rich.
Maybe.
Or hopefully at least you can't not finish a spell, you lunatic. So that's good that you did it again.
Yes.
Maybe that's how I got my job.
Maybe.
Maybe that's a good sign for Gold Hunt.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking like maybe this will help for Gold Hunt, the demon pendant. We probably should have got a pendant to uncurse us though, because all of our shit gets canceled.
So I have actually done some research into people that will take curses off, and there are a couple people in Edmonton. I just need to figure out cost and whether or not it is actually something that they would be willing to do during the pandemic.
They need to know what kind of curse I have because
That
I don't know.
I don't know. But there is a couple people in Edmonton. One of them is a shaman. He says he's a shaman, but I'm pretty sure he's just a white guy. So I'm not too sure if I should just contact him or not. So there are people in Edmonton that do remove curses.
Maybe. Possibly.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it in time for Gold Hunt, but...
Probably not.
No.
But you can't be doing like too many things at a time. We
No.
should just see if our spells and our demon pendants work.
Correct.
This is our third Gold Hunt for people. Should we explain what this is?
Gold Hunt, it's a corporation started a couple years ago, and basically they hide treasure in your hometown. So far they've done it in a few cities in Canada and more recently in the States. And they give you a list of riddles and kind of like rhyming couplets, and you need to figure out where all those rhyming couplets refer to, and they kind of unlock different levels of this game. And once you make it to like the final level, your final rhyming couplet directs you to where the treasure is. And treasure in past years, I think, was like $100,000
Worth of gold, like at the day.
Gold and silver pieces. I think this year's just like 50K.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty sweet.
And so we did this twice last year. And had it not been for Gold Hunt, I don't know if I would have got to know Sydney as well. So it's got
we
that.
bonded.
Yeah, it's got that going for it.
Yeah. And I
So-
quit smoking.
So it's exciting to do this again. There's a lot of disgruntled people online right now. And
Oh, yeah.
the amount of people that are like upset that they're like, this is a scam, blah 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 blah. But it's a test of intelligence, and I don't know if those people are just like offended. They thought they were going to win, and then they didn't win, and then they lost their minds. Or
Well, I mean, it is intelligence, but it's a tiny bit of luck too.
Yeah,
Because
it
like,
is,
what
too.
if that's just not your stomping grounds, right? Like, it is a pretty big-ish city.
so far the practice riddles that they've sent, we've each solved one. Chris,
Yeah.
Sydney, and I, we've each solved one. So that's probably a good sign.
Now I have my demon pendant.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
go, little guy.
I've got the witchcraft spell.
My mojo bag is on my night table.
Yep. We're unstoppable. We just need to, because like should I mention my mom is joining us?
Sure.
Yeah. So our mom will be Mine and Sydney's mom will be joining us. We need to like figure out something for her too. Or will she be our control group?
Control group.
Control
Well,
group?
she's also cursed. Which she told me to stop saying on the podcast, but nope. She's cursed. It's a family curse.
Aww.
So she can't be a control group.
Well,
What do you think, science?
Science.
I
being
mean,
Sydney's
I
nickname.
don't believe in curses to begin with. I'll be 100% honest. I made the mojo bag, and I've been trying to respect the rules, but because I don't even believe in, like, the magic behind it, it's very hard for me to respect the rules that are, like... Because it was, like, afterwards I, like, Googled it, and it was like, you need to treat it like a pet. You need to feed it once a week. You need to talk to it. You need to, like, take it everywhere with you. And I've been just not very good at remembering to do that. So.
You feed pets usually more than once a week.
Yeah, it says once a week online. So I've been dousing it in prosperity oil once a week. It smells nice, so I'm okay with it. But
Well, that's
yeah.
good. Feed your pets every day, people, listeners.
So, one of the things we're going to do is set Sydney up on a virtual speed dating event, since everything is going online and no longer in person. And joining her is our friend Anna, who is our very first guest on the podcast. So say hi, Anna.
Oh, hey, that's special. That's awesome.
We don't have any trophy for it or anything yet, but one day,
I demand a pin or a sticker to be created in my honor.
We can definitely do that.
So the first two speed dating virtual events were canceled or postponed, and then the third
Correction,
one...
3. The
Three.
first 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got canceled.
And then
Yeah.
Friday night was supposed to be the big day that it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we got all dressed up.
Yeah, we did hair and makeup and everything, which in the time of COVID is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be a video chat.
Yep, it was.
Yep.
And I guess you guys, they ran into technical difficulties?
Well, I feel like there might be some bullshit there. So I got in, I logged into the room and I was waiting, and there was 6 girls and just 1 guy. And then the organizer was like, oh, there's supposed to be a few more guys logging in, but we could have had some no-shows, so just bear with us, right?
I was late.
And then, yeah. So the whole story was pretty crazy from my perspective, because I got into the room. It was a little hard to set up, but I did it. First I was just playing around with the audio and stuff, but my type A personality, I logged in early. So I got in, but it sounds like lots of people are having issues. And then it was so weird, because then they're like, okay, we're going to try the event, and if you don't have a match, you're just going to wait that round out. And I was like, oh, okay. So the event, in theory, kind of starts, but it's so there's no match for you. And you're like, okay. And then 7 minutes later, the event, and the next notice I got was just oh, the event's over.
What? So,
Yeah, that's the notice I got.
Mm-hmm.
So you only ever saw one guy on the screen?
And on the screen, exactly. Didn't get to talk to him either. Just saw him. He was in the waiting room in the beginning of the thing started. But they stopped the event at 8:10, so they gave people exactly 10 minutes to log in and figure it out.
Whoa.
that's not enough time.
And it sucks. I was a little baby bit late, but I think I was trying to log in at 8:04. And it kept dropping, and I was like, what the fuck? So I was using Chrome, so then I tried to use Edge, because I was like, maybe they suck, and it's only compatible with Edge. And then it was saying my whole laptop was not compatible, and it was that's a joke and not true. So then I just rage quit everything, got back in, and then finally got in, and then I was in the same as Anna, a blank. You're just in a room where it says there's no match for you, and there's a 7-minute video you can watch if you want. I don't know, did you get the video, Anna?
Did, but I didn't get press play for, I think I tried to press play and it didn't work, and I was like, forget it. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so then we were just sitting there for 8 minutes, so I was like, well, I'm going to go get a lamp, to look better with, lighting, because I'm an absolute lunatic. So I went to get a lamp, and then I came back, and it was the event's over. It just, says, thanks, and I was like, no one did anything.
What time?
Yeah, and then like a few minutes later, I got an email at least, and it was like, "Oh, we didn't have enough participants, so the event's been postponed. Do you want to reschedule?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I kind of fought back and like wrote him a message, and I was like, "No, at this point, like I want a refund. 3 cancellations." And like last minute cancellations, and then this event just like failed. And he's like, "Oh, well, it was an IT glitch and it's not our fault." And I'm like, "That's not really my problem at this point." And then, yeah, so me and Sydney were getting different emails and different messages, but basically it just like was a disaster. And they've canceled it 3 times, so haven't they had 3 times to test it and make sure this works? Or like the technology's worked in other cities?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds pretty, sounds like they don't have like their setup thought out before they did it.
No.
To me, the funniest
no, and also
part.
we didn't get any instructions, and people always need some basic instructions. Like, anything I've done for IT, like Zoom, anything I've done for education, you got to give people like half an hour to log in, and you got to give them a contact to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, like one of the funny parts of it was when, so after like the whole thing was over in like 30 seconds, and I texted Chris and Cheryl, and I was like, well, like this was ridiculous. And because they said in the email they would give us a free event. So Cheryl was like, oh, so we get our money back. And I was like, well, we don't get our money back. We just get a free event. And Chris was like, no, that means they're just promising not to charge you more money. It's
Yes.
not free. And I was like, oh my God.
No, it's like your same thing. And then I looked into it because the event was booked through an app, and it was set up with no refund, so I can't do through the app. But I asked the company, and they said they'd give me a refund, but I'll wait because they kept pushing back. Like they're kind of pushy. They were like, if you get a refund, you can never come to one of our events in the future. And it's like, okay, great.
Wow.
Good customer service.
And she's banned from all the partner companies.
Yeah, and all the partner companies. That's the big threat.
Yeah.
All their big bad partner things. And it was just, and he said, he was like, oh, you threatened me. And I was like, we've had 3 events, plus this one didn't work. Like, I'm being pretty reasonable that I didn't ask for my money back like 2 cancellations ago.
Well, we were also debating, like, did the one guy, like, because there was one dude in the room, like, with her and then all chicks. And he's like, did he just, like the first girl or not want to, or drop out? And he's like, there's no way that the only guy in a room with, like, 8 chicks is just going to, like, drop out.
Yeah, like, even if it was an error or a glitch, I think they could have emailed everyone, was like, we're going to try again. Or something, right? Like some kind of solution, not just like cancel the event and do it later. Like it just was so unprofessional.
So the interesting thing is that I messaged them today while we were starting the podcast just to be like, hey, can we get a refund? I was like, I don't feel so comfortable with this idea anymore. Can we just get a refund on the event? And they gave it to me no problem, no caveats, no nothing. Like they're just like, yeah, oh, of course, like sorry.
Did they process it? Like, you got the money back, or they just said yes?
They just said that they were going to process it as soon as they could.
Okay, sweet. So hopefully, you know what? I'll give it a week. I'll give them a week to process it. Like they must know people are frustrated at this point. Yeah. But you know what? We made our own fun, right? I think we had an adventure.
We did. We were just not going to take it.
This is a great idea, and I would do it again.
So can you...
Do you want to pitch what it was?
Yeah.
So we went on a rampage after, and basically what happened is we were texting back and forth, and we were like, well, this sucks. Like, we're all dressed up. Like, so then I said that we should do, like, our own, like, speed dating thing. So we were talking about, like, Zoom, and then we ended up doing Google Meets. And then I rampaged and messaged a bunch of people on Tinder and posted in a now deleted post that you cannot find on Reddit. And we tried to get people to like come hang out and join our chat. And like, fuck you, we'll find our own dudes to talk to. Everyone thought I was a robot, so I did not catch anybody. And Anna got us one guy.
Yeah, so I got us 2, but like one person doesn't count as much. So I posted, we posted everywhere. We posted to our girls chat, and we're like, forget it, just get drunk with us. We're doing some mayhem. And they're like, what does that mean? And one of our friends joined us, so that was good, at least to catch up and talk. And then one person from like my meetup group, who's not bad in person, but he was like, he's kind of boring. And then one random guy from Bumble. But the key is, I think I found, you do not ask them on the first message. You build a little, so I think if we do this again, we need to start messaging them during the day and then like have a meetup planned for that night. or a Google Hangs for that night.
You gotta build it out more, because it turns out you can't
Yeah.
just say hashtag I'm not a bot.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it's the first message, actually, I woke up the next day and it was quite funny. And I was unmatched from everyone I had sent that message to, that I hadn't had it back and forth with. So I was like, okay, so that's the lesson. You gotta like talk to them, have some rapport, and then be like, hey, I want to talk to you.
Oh man.
I got unmatched from a couple people too.
Yeah, because they're like, what the hell is this?
It's real hard to like beg strangers. Like, I don't know how people meet people. No one was up for it.
Yeah. And then I felt bad because, like, the person we got from Meetup, like, he's an acquaintance, but he was being real boring, and I kind of wanted to boot him from the Google chat because I'm like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But I knew him, so I was like, I can't be that rude. So with random strangers, we figured out you can be, if you're organizing the event, you can be the bouncer, you can kick people out. So we thought, like, well, that has potential. You invite a bunch of randos, and then if they start getting weird, you just boot them out of the chat, no problem. And then she had her fake name, I had mine, where it's just initials, so they can't really tell who you are. So, but yeah, we actually had a decent conversation and got to know that one guy. But I'm so afraid of like red flags. As soon as I see something where I'm like, that's interesting, I kind of bail, because he had something about being a 12-step. Like, of course, when we were on the rampage, we were not reading profiles well. We were just like, blah, 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 let's get some conversations going.
Get them matches.
And then the next day, it was because he was actually kind of well-spoken, and he was like a nice guy to talk to, and I thought, oh, interesting, I might follow up with this person. And then I like read his profile in detail, and he mentioned how he's like a 12-stepper guy, but he still parties as long as it doesn't get out of hand. And I was like, that seems weird. Like, either you're working the 12 steps or you're off, right? I don't know about managing it. That sounds a little scary to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk to someone who has their drinking figured out in their party.
Yeah.
Exactly, like me. Like, I am a highly functioning alcoholic. Boom, settled. Handle it.
Do you think you guys would actually try do it again?
Yeah, maybe just for fun. I don't know about it for actually getting to know anyone, but actually, yeah. Actually, I think I would, but I don't like online dating. I find it really boring. Like, I created a profile and I got bored of it in 2 days, so I was like, this isn't for me. But I do like speeding it up. Like, I hate the back and forth. I actually think the virtual chats is way better. You get to know people so much better and so much faster. It's a little awkward. You got to keep the conversation moving.
Yeah, I think it's better than, like, I kind of feel like Tinder is, like, such a waste of time. Like, you just go, hey, how's it going? Like, are you a fish holder? And you just have to go on this exhausting...
Are you a fish holder?
I hate fish holders.
That's like I gotta find your list of questions.
That's, like, my number one deal breaker. Like, no fish holders.
Really? You don't like the Alberta boys? That's not your thing?
No, gross. I'm thinking of changing my Tinder profile to accents only.
Did you guys get to read any of the questions that we had like put up for you to read to people?
No, because we didn't get to talk to anyone.
You know what? We didn't put it in. We should have done it in the Google chat. I forgot. People get so distracted. Everybody's like obsessed with COVID right now.
Where
I'm like, I need COVID-free time. But no, you're right. That would have been fun. And I liked your questions, your naughty questions for if you didn't like the guy. Like, I know you did really good, thoughtful questions that I've read, where you had a bunch of questions if you like the guy to learn more, and like deep questions. And then if you don't like them, just naughty, random, weird ones. And I actually like the random ones. I thought they were fun. My joke, right? Because you guys know, like, I like a big, rugged guy. I'm like, if there was a question you had about had anyone had ever, like, for the no list, had dressed like a Viking at any point in their life, and I was like, no, that's my yes question.
That's a
like
yes for me too.
Where I'm like, if you could be an extra on the show Vikings, I'm into you.
Yeah, so I should mention that Cheryl and I had written questions for both you and both Sydney and Anna. They weren't actually all the same questions too, so you guys got different sets of questions just because we thought,
oh, really?
What should, like, because we kind of know you both, so we're like, we know what you'll already kind of ask, but...
What do you mean kind of? We're related by blood.
Yeah.
What do you mean kind of?
Yeah, like, I was trying to think of, like, really, really weird questions, and I think I made Sydney's questions way weirder.
And I feel bad because I didn't read them, because I felt like he said to wait until the thing to read them, so I didn't read them ahead of time.
Well, we're going to have to get you recording an episode where you read through some of those.
So I still have them. So
Okay.
the only thing, Anna, is about we got to figure out if we're gonna do another like rampage. It's tricky in Google Meets because sometimes the sound cuts out when too many people are talking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We did pretty good with 4 people though. Like I think
4
so.
people's not bad.
Yeah, we had 5 at one point, but we did
Yeah.
talk about COVID a lot.
I know. We have to have a fan. We're gonna have some rules. I hate online dating. I get so bored by it and then frequently triggered. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because I did a lot of it a year or 2 ago. I know it's just a tool, and I know it's just like a method for meeting lots of people, but I just have a really hard time with it, and I don't know what that block is.
I do too. Like the thought of like messaging someone that you don't know for a couple weeks to me is like literally exhausting. Especially if you see someone cute and then they don't respond. It's like, fuck you. I took 30 seconds to type out hey, and you just ignore me and unmatch me. Probably a fish holder.
I think that's why I stopped with Bumble. Like, I just did it because I knew people would respond to us quickly. Bumble's a hard one because you always have to message first as the girl, and then to get ignored, you're like, dude, that sucks.
Why is messaging first on Tinder? I got ignored by everyone.
Would at least for Sydney, would you be interested in if Chris and I went through your Tinder and found random guys to video chat with?
Anna has to be there. I need a friend.
Okay.
I need
I'll
a
be
friend.
there. I'll be there as your emotional support.
Yeah.
I'll be the bouncer who can kick them out.
yeah.
I can be the chaperone.
Yeah. I was really dreading the event all day. I got so worked up. Also, I should mention, so every day leading up to all of the cancellations, Chris and Cheryl had to put up with me having an absolute meltdown of me not wanting to use my fake name and going back and forth like a million times because I was like, what if I can't like keep it straight in my head or I don't respond to it? And then, I did end up doing it with a fake name and I didn't even get to talk to anyone, which was rude. I would maybe consider that, but I don't know. Like, me and Anna are on opposite ends here where she really put in the effort and she's been on all these first dates. I've been back in Canada for, almost 2 years, and I have gone on exactly 1 first date. And I was like, this is trash. I'd rather get just drunk by myself and watch, 100 episodes of the 100 and, not answer my phone.
I go back and forth. I think it depends on how, psychologically healthy I am. When I'm in a good mood, I can talk to anyone for an hour. But if I'm feeling sensitive, a first date that goes bad, you kind of take it personally, and then you're like, I'm never going to find anyone.
Yeah.
But, it really depends on your mindset. COVID right now is kind of, throwing me for a loop, but I really believe in the dating for fun and just, getting to know lots of people, being very open-minded and getting to know lots of people, and then just be stricter. There's kind of a cutoff, right? There's tons of people you'd never go on a second date with, or third or fourth, and, try to exit, I think, make up your mind by a month or so in if you like them or not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good to string anyone along, and if you can tell someone's really ahead of you, they're really excited, and you're like, I'm not, to kind of drop it off. I really do believe people should be open-minded about dating and make it an adventure and fun. That's why I have a hard time with online, because it's just not that fun, and it's a time investment, and then it gets that weird addictive validation thing. There's this, and the rejection, and it's so superficial. I'm definitely getting more comfortable in my own skin, but on my worst days, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of cute, and on my best days, I'm like, yeah, I'm objectively pretty attractive, but online dating is hard, because all they see is your pictures, and that's just I don't know about you guys, but person fills the personality, right? Their presence and stuff is so much more important.
Yeah, you can see how they react to questions or think about how they're answering.
Yeah. Well, I find I've seen kind of the really shittier side of it because I'm a plus size person, and I believe just in online dating, just getting that out of the way because I want to look good in my pictures. So I take high angle trickery pictures that trick everyone. So my profile, literally the first thing it says is plus size, and then it's just out there.
Fair. You gotta have someone who's into you.
Yeah, but I get messages okay, but how plus size are you? People trying to scope out maybe what is over their weight threshold, which is fuck you.
Yeah.
I do think everyone should have flattering pictures, but I think it is important to have a few body shots. like, you are who you are, right? I think it's present who you are in a good light, like wear something flattering, but I think it is good to have full body shots, like accurate recent ones.
Well, I do have a body shot and I have 2 half body shots, but like my weight fluctuates a lot. So it's kind of like, here's like the rainbow of sizes that I am. Because it changes.
That happens.
And then I have a no makeup picture. So I think I do okay. I'm not like lying to people, but I also feel like at a certain point, if you just say you're plus size, that like, don't fucking message me then if you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a sense, I feel, from my pictures.
Because I've never done that to a guy. Like, I've never asked them if their pictures, maybe if they're really fuzzy. I don't think I've ever made a guy qualify it, right? Like,
Yeah, I've never asked a guy how tall he is. And I really want to, because I've only dated people my height and they were all fucking monsters. So.
Short guys can be insecure. There's a whole complex.
Napoleon complex.
Yeah. We should probably cut this part or we're all going to get canceled for hating on short guys.
Okay, well, whatever a person has, I would say insecure people can be dangerous.
Yes.
And they're difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, in my you know how you have to, like, have self-reflection. I've been insecure in my life, so I've bonded with insecure people, right? And it maybe contributed to my own toxic stuff and my own bad behavior. But so when you bond with someone who is also insecure, it comes out in really bad ways in relationships, right? Yeah. Like, some short people are fine, right? Because they make a joke of it and they don't care. I think it all depends if someone is quite sensitive or not. Because some people are insecure about their careers or their money or, you know, how muscular they are. Like, all the things guys worry about, right?
That's fair. I did date one short person that was like my height, and he was not actually a monster. And he had an accent, so bonus.
Yeah, I think just it's hard to know if someone's insecure or not.
You can't just ask them, are you insecure about anything?
I'm going to.
Yeah, may as well.
And what are your deepest insecurities?
Just put them on. I actually did this to somebody once. Okay, I was not in a good mood, or I was not in a good place. I just broken up with someone, and I think I was kind of sensitive. And I remember being on a date, and I asked, like, what's the worst thing about you? Which is such like, an aggressive question. It is like a Freudian slip. I think it was just, like, on my mind, where it was like, yeah, like, I was a little bit fear-based, but yeah, I was like, are you a monster? Was my question.
I'm going to ask that all the time now.
What's the worst thing about you?
Yeah. Or are you a monster?
Are
Just cut to the chase. Are you a fish holder? Are you a monster?
Is your name Kyle?
Is your name Kyle? Have I previously said I hate Kyle?
Yeah, you sure have.
Oh, well, it's out there, Kyle. Sorry about it, but not.
You know who you are, Kyle.
He does, too. I hope he never hears this.
But yeah, such an adventure, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, you know what? You message a bunch of people, and we could be the chaperones or keep you company while you're waiting for people to pop in the message.
I think it would be fun to have you guys like all at a table with fake glasses or real glasses if you have them, and just take notes every time the dude says something. Make him real uncomfortable.
Oh, like on the Google thing?
Yeah.
Like a panel with like score answers and stuff?
A
or
panel.
A lot?
And then you can give them all a score after.
We'll get some lab coats.
Yes.
Oh, no.
This is why I'm
great.
single. I think the important thing, though, is that we didn't just let ourselves get disappointed by this shady company that, like, does not help you find love at all. Yeah. And we took back our own night.
Yeah, I think it was good that we had our own fun. At least we did something, because they've canceled on us so many times. Mm-hmm. Like, it was getting frustrating to save time to do it. Mm-hmm. And they're so dismissive, like, every single time. Like, oh, it's not a big deal. We just canceled it. And it's like, people save time for us.
Yeah, trying to find a rich husband out here. God, I don't want to work anymore.
That's what the podcast is for.
That's true.
Dude, get rich.
Yeah.
Through any means possible.
Yes.
Yeah, is that, you know what, it was like, it's as long as we get our money back too, after the company wasting all that time, it was a relatively fun adventure. Oh yeah, but Sydney didn't tell you, the guy I spotted in the speed dating room that I didn't get to talk to, superficially, definitely my type. That's like extra layer of why like I was so annoyed, because I'm like, I actually want to talk to that guy.
Oh no.
You're right? So it's like that extra layer where I'm like, fuck this.
And it was weird to be like in a room by yourself. Like I feel like they should have just like left you in the queue if you didn't have a match.
Yeah.
Like nothing's more off-putting than being in a little chat room by yourself with a screen that says we have no match for you.
Yeah, in normal
Yeah.
speed dating, they let you talk to everybody.
The organizer stole him for her own. Just kidding.
That's right.
Probably.
I wonder if the one guy in the chat was like her helper and he wasn't actually like a participant.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
He did look a little bored.
Yeah.
And you would think if you were the only guy and 6 girls, you'd be checking out the screen more.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
I feel like it's harder to get guys to go to the thing than ladies.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the group. Yeah, speed dating seems to appeal to professionals a lot. I'm trying to think like the different personality, but I remember reading something on it. Speed dating, the chances of getting a match are only like 1%.
Yes.
So you
Oh,
have to go to like,
interesting. It's probably people that are like want to be really efficient.
yes,
They would think I'm a
exactly.
fucking
You want to be
nightmare.
efficient. They in bigger cities they have them themed, like they have them themed based on professions and goals and ages more and stuff, and like interests. So you could see how like if you had a wine tasting speed date event, you might meet people more like you. But I guess Edmonton's too small for all that, and now I've got myself banned from every future one, I guess.
Yeah,
for
now
being
Anna will never find love.
annoying.
I mean, it would be like a worse fate if they could actually run one of them.
Exactly. That would have been a sassy response. Like, well, if you ever start running events. Okay, guys. Well, I'll log off. But it was nice to catch up.
Yeah, it was good. And thanks for joining us as our first ever official guest.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank
Sweet,
you.
Cool. And then let me know if you do want to chaperone for more shenanigans sometime.
think
I would
she
like
does.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Bye, guys.
Yeah, have a good
Bye.
night.
See ya. So that is our recap of the almost speed dating event. Before we sign off here, I have a question for you.
Oh no.
Mike DeMort, Kevin DeMort, Mark DeMort, Richard DeMort, or Bruce DeMort?
The fuck is a demort? A person?
Last episode, you said you had an ex that you combined his name with Voldemort.
All wrong.
All wrong?
All wrong.
Okay. I'll come up with some new guesses next time.
Oh, this is a fun segment. It's gonna take you a while.
Is it like a
He's not
common
like a
name?
proper ex, but he's like just someone that traumatized me for a long time.
Is it a common name?
Ish.
How many syllables?
Nope, that's gonna make it too easy. It's a common name of someone that's like a dickhead. Like if you heard the name, you'd be like, ugh, that guy probably fucking sucks. Gross.
Well,
Okay, I've got some guesses now, but I'll save them for next time.
okay.
Should I publicly be trashing people I don't like?
I mean,
On the
if it's
air?
a common name, he may think that you've dated other people with that name.
Yeah. Like if it was
No,
like
because I've only ever dated one person. Properly, I've only dated one person. So everyone that I've actually named on the podcast was not actually an ex. They were just someone that was the worst person in the whole world, and I hope they get eaten by slugs.
Okay.
I only have one proper ex. He a little bit had me deported from a country, but he's fine. We chat every now and then.
it sounds like you're making peace with him.
Ish. We're in touch.
That about wraps up this episode of I Went Outside Today. Next episode, hopefully, maybe, we'll be gold hunting and we'll be able to recap what we've done for that.
That is now my new full-time job.
Yeah.
So this is your host, Chris, signing off.
Cheryl signing off.
And I'm Sydney. I do the things.
Thanks for listening to this very special episode of I Went Outside Today. If you have comments, compliments, or just suggestions of what Sydney should take part in, send them to us on our I Went Outside Today Facebook page or by email to iwentoutsidetodaypod@gmail.com. Also, if you could give us a positive rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast and share us with your friends, we would really appreciate you helping our small podcast become a little bigger.